the first communication came. So we started getting wind of this around 12:20 a.m. That the coach had been sacked. Now that communication had gone to some of the key members of the technical team, key members of the playing body. So that communication had been done. Now, it was within the Black Stars camp that
Sporty FM.
Otto was gone. So what was left was for the public communication, and that came at around 12:39. Yes. So I mean, it wasn't something that was hidden.
Okay. It wasn't something that was hidden.
You know, right after Otto got his communication, I mean, it became an open secret.
Okay, let's lay out the sequence of events. But once we are doing all of that, you can still send me your comment 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. We'll open the phone lines a little later. But Ray, what's the sequence of events, right? Tell me the sequence of events, because this is a very interesting thing. The Black Stars play Germany, lose 2-1. 2-3 hours later, we hear that Otto Addo has been sacked as national team head coach. Can you explain to us, or can you just let us know how all of this played out? Right? Give us the backstory. You know, if you read portals like The Athletic, they say, here is the story. So tell us when all of this was cooking, and how the message was delivered, and why this decision was taken in the first place.
Great. Now, let me start from what happened. Now, you remember, post the Austria game, there was heavy criticism from almost every quarter. Okay. Everybody was angry because many felt if the Black Stars should be losing games, not by this heavy margin. And so that sparked a lot of anger. Questions were asked. Is Otto Addo the right man to take us to the World Cup? Because, I mean, at the World Cup, this obviously will be the kind of opposition we are likely to face.
Sporty FM.
And so if we are losing by 5-1, what happens to the team when we go to the World Cup? So the jury was already out on Otto Addo post that 5-1 drubbing at the hands of Austria.
Okay, so the people who would take the decision, right? Let's say the people at the FA and all.
So
they held a certain stance
Yeah.
on Otto. So they were willing to or let me ask you this. Before the friendlies, was there any talk of Otto's job being in danger?
No. So before the two friendlies, it didn't look like Otto's job was not safe. It didn't look like Otto had 2 games to sort out his national team coaching job. Okay. He had 2 games to assess his squad. He had 2 games to have a clear picture of what the team would look like at the World Cup. He had 2 games to properly figure out who would make the deadline on June 30 for the final squad to be announced on June 1 by FIFA.
Okay.
On May 30 or May 31st, right? And then FIFA would make it public on June 1. So he had to be clear based on the call-ups he made.
Yeah.
Now, going into the Austria game, nobody expected the kind of results we got against Austria.
Okay.
But already, question marks had been raised about whether Otto was going to be the man. So, for a group of people, for a section of Ghanaians, they wanted to see how Otto was going to respond to a position like that.
So going into the friendly, even though the initial conversation was that Otto's job was safe, they still wanted to see how he would fare. Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So once the result didn't go well, it was almost like, well, are we ready to take this risk? Are we ready to take this gamble with Otto Addo? Because it looked very much like when good things happen to the team, we know where the credit goes. When bad things happen to the team, we know where the credit goes. This one was put squarely at the doorsteps of Otto Addo. Now, post that game, calls were made. And the key decision makers became concerned. even the handlers of the national team directly, the FA, seemed concerned
following the loss to Austria.
But that concern.
So what was the sticking point? Was it the way the team lost or the scoreline?
No, the way the team lost and the scoreline. Clearly, Nathan, if anybody watches the Black Stars in that state, you will not be convinced this team can go to the World Cup and do well.
I see.
So for many, the problem had to be Otto. Because many believe that this team has some very good players who should not be playing that poorly. Some good players who should not deliver the kind of results we got. And so the jury went out straight away on Otto. Now, the FA were concerned. But of course, the FA had always found a way to stick with Otto. By bolstering his technical room, his backroom staff, bolstering his technical team with additions, quality additions. I mean, they've always found a way to make up for the lapses that they themselves knew Otto had in terms of coaching this team.
So there was a broad acceptance that Otto had issues.
Yes.
He had lapses. There were weaknesses to his game. And so all this business of padding up or adding up to the back room was a tacit admission on the side of the FA that this man has problems. We need to help him.
Absolutely. Now, the FA on one side would not have wanted this decision to be taken.
I see.
Knowing very well how close we are to the World Cup and how much they've invested in trying to help this technical team support Otto to deliver credible results or good results. You look at the World Cup qualifiers, they did same or similar. It yielded results. So the FA were not going to take the position of sacking the coach. Now, where the problem now came in was the position of government or was the side of government. So those who were paying the coach,
very good,
of course, became concerned.
I'm happy you've mentioned it, and it's important for a lot of people who did not know or who do not know. Otto's salary is paid by the state.
Yes. So the state became concerned. Now look, we are paying so much, and we cannot accept some of these results. The only currency that matters in situations like this is wins, or go out there and deliver good results. So the state became concerned. So decisions were taken, calls were made, and as at Friday night, there was serious consideration as to whether to keep Otto or to sack Otto. As at Friday night. Now, you know the minister traveled on Saturday, quietly, alone, to go and see the game in Germany. As at that time, it wasn't clear whether the minister was going to deliver the news or not. But decisions had been taken. Whether Otto beats Germany 5-1, 21, or 10-0, the general consensus from those paying Otto was that Otto could not take us to the World Cup and deliver.
So Otto's fate, per what you're saying, was sealed before the Germany game.
It was sealed before the Germany game because based on what the key stakeholders or the bankrollers had seen, Otto was not good enough to lead the team.
Okay, so it was, the decision was taken after we played Austria.
After we played Austria.
Okay, who came to that conclusion? Which people were in the room when that decision was being taken?
You see, that decision was a high-level decision.
Okay.
You see, it was a high-level decision. So, you know, some of the figures involved, you know, I mean, it was a high-level decision. But fact remains that the minister's appearance in Germany was mainly to express his dissatisfaction with the team, dissatisfaction with the results, dissatisfaction with the outcome,
Sporty FM, the voice of sport.
And then communicate to the FA that they were not satisfied with the work of Otto Addo.
Okay.
And the decision was taken on Otto Addo's future.
Okay.
So yesterday, after the game, there was a meeting between the FA officials, the management committee members, Coach Otto Addo himself, And in that meeting, I mean, the meeting stretched for quite a bit. In that meeting, you would call it a crisis meeting, right? In that meeting, Otto's fate was communicated to him. And according to reports, he accepted it. He took it in good faith. I mean, of course, he himself would know the demands of Ghanaians and the expectations of Ghanaians in football games. Okay.
Sporty FM.
And so he accepted it. But Nathan, you see, one thing must be clear. One thing must be made clear. The calls for Otto to be sacked started way back. But every step of the way, the FA held a very firm line behind Otto. One of the reasons we had to do with his severance package.
Okay.
So Otto was on a $50,000 a month salary. Okay. Now, Otto was given a 34-month contract.
Okay.
Now, at the time the calls were coming for Otto to be sacked, if he had been sacked then, it would have cost the state quite a bit.
Okay.
Now, the FA consistently found a way to make sure
Sporty FM.
they gave the good people of Ghana enough confidence to believe whatever happens, there's a very solid backroom staff, a very solid technical team that can see us through. That was why later on we saw the introduction of Bjoke Green, Rivera and Co.
Yeah.
Just to make sure there's good support around the coach. And again, whoever was responsible for the payment of the coach would be presented this same list and convinced to believe that indeed, with these additions, the coach will have enough to be able to deliver. But Nathan, with all those additions, Austria beat us good. Of course, the man paying the salary would not be excited. And that resulted in the sacking of Coach Otto Addo. It had to be done because there was loss of confidence. Nobody now believed that Otto, even with the support he was getting, could deliver for the Stars.
Okay.
And that was why the decision had to be taken last night. So, I mean, if anything could have saved Otto his job, last night's performance could have. But because the decision was already cast in stone, even the improved performance against Germany could not save him his job.
So did Otto know of this?
Otto did not know.
He didn't know that he was practically a dead man walking.
No, Otto did not know. That's what I'm saying. The communication was only going to be done on Monday after the game, regardless of the outcome.
So irrespective of the outcome, even if we had smashed Germany by 5, Otto was
The
gone.
general consensus was that Otto was not the man for the job. And that's why it was so easy for them to arrive at this point. Look, the FA, of course, knowing very well the plans they had, the long-term plans that they were cooking for Otto. You know, initially they gave him a 34-month contract with an option of 2 years extension. So, in the minds of the FA, they would have wanted to see Otto stay with the team longer, build very strong foundations, build a very strong team, get attached to the team, almost like what Aliou Cissé did with Senegal. So, in terms of the playbook of the FA, they were looking at the longer term or the long term. But in this game, Nathan, even for long-term achievements, you would want to see short-term results. That wasn't coming. And this, I must say, has been a very tough decision for the FA to accept. You know, even their statement should tell you the FA never wished we were going to get to this point. But, of course, Ghanaians were not happy. Or Ghanaians are not happy. And you don't want a situation where we go to the World Cup, we put up another shambolic show, and becomes the talk of town. All sorts of meanings are read into it. All sorts of arguments are made. All sorts of cases are made. Had I known comes in, Otto should have been sacked long ago. All of those things. You don't want all that. And so, Otto goes, and then, now, the FA and government will now have to figure out who now comes in to do a job that will deliver the results Ghanaians want to see. So, I mean, Otto sacking, you would put squarely at the doorsteps of Otto himself. I think that with all the support he got, look,
Sporty
some of us sat on this show and questioned the minister as to why Otto was still in charge.
Yeah. Following the failure.
All the things we saw.
Yeah, the failure to make the AFCON.
But of course, the minister gave explanations. Explained why continuity was necessary.
Yeah.
How you wouldn't just want to come in and then reinvent the wheel. The minister gave explanations. Again, we sat on this show and questioned the minister as to why Winfred Schaefer was appointed. You remember? Again, the minister had to offer explanations as to why Winfred Schaefer was appointed. It made sense that, well, if a technical advisor was needed, he would back it, hoping that there will be results. Indeed, there were results post Schaefer's appointment. True or false?
Yes, there were.
Again, post qualification to the World Cup, if you are Minister of Sports and Recreation, and a case is presented before you, well, we believe that going to every World Cup, we add more quality or more technical support to whoever takes us to the World Cup. So again, this is Otto Addo, our coach, but we need more support for him. Again, every step of the way, the state has been interested and the state has agreed to whatever the FA has wanted to do with regards to beefing up the technical team, because they would eventually pay for it. But it got to a point, the state now realized that, look, it's almost as if this exercise is not going to yield the result we want, or it's not yielding the result we want. And that is why they had to crack the whip this early, or, well, this late, if you will put it that way. Early because, I mean, it's happened some good days before the World Cup. This late because, I mean, post the AFCON debacle, post AFCON struggles, many expected that this decision should have been taken long ago. So, I mean, not too many people are in disagreement with this decision. And for many Ghanaians, they feel it was the right decision that was taken, maybe rather late, maybe rather early, but Otto just did not have the goodwill of the good people of Ghana. And you cannot go to any tournament in this kind of shape and in this kind of form and expect anything. Look, Nathan, what that 5-1 defeat did to Ghana was morale dampening. You see, it killed the morale of anybody who even wanted to contribute to the fundraising drive. Yeah. Okay, because, I mean, what am I raising funds for? The Stars can barely win games. The Stars can barely answer questions thrown at them. So, it again affected even the fundraising drive of government. Yeah. All of those factors played a role. Now, as we speak, Otto's contract was expected to have ended in March, in 10 months' time. Right. So, he took the job in March 2025. In March 2026,
Sporty,
he's been sacked. Okay. In March 2024, he stayed on March 2025, 1 year. March 2026, 2 years. So he has 10 more months left on his contract. Okay. Now, the state is saying, now look, if it is about severance package, we can deal with the severance package. But we want a coach who comes in and delivers for us at the World Cup, or gives us a respectable performance at the World Cup. It's as simple as that.
054-257-1061, 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. You can send us a WhatsApp message. Better yet, send us a WhatsApp voice note. 054-257-1061. If you don't know how to send a voice note, open your WhatsApp. You'll find a microphone sign there. Just slide it. Once it starts counting, record your voice note and send it to us. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let me know what you think of the sacking of head coach Otto Addo. Are you happy? Are you sad? Is it necessary? Is it unnecessary? Is it in good time? Have we left it a bit too late? Let me know. 054-257-1061. We'll be getting a lot of reactions to this. Let me go to the line. Our very good friend Christopher Nimley is joining us. He's a coach and football pundit, and he joins us on the line. Coach, good morning. How are you doing?
No bano ba wo keya. Bano ba wo keya. No way, no wa. Au. Bano ba wo keya. No mo towo ye. No mo in oduba.
Etowo
No mo towo. Etowo wa enla kabo. This thing should have happened long ago.
Mm-hmm.
You see, in life, if you keep running away from the obvious things, you are just setting yourself up to be destroyed. For me, that is where I am hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Because from day one, he didn't even deserve the job. He did not even deserve the job. We all know the manner through which he got the job. That should never happen in a proper footballing nation like Ghana, where somebody will set the criteria for who the next appointment, who the next coach should be. The one who never ticked any of the boxes, not even one, ends up getting the job. And you could see people coming out to defend the indefensible. That is sad in a civilized, modernized country like Ghana. Look, we all go trying to improve ourselves. Wherever you are, I can boldly say that you deserve to be where you are. There are times where grace will locate you. But when grace locates you, it is on purpose that you get in there and you get the job done. This one, it was not grace. It was Ketukreku who Nicodemously forced this man down the throat. Even when the results were clear and even clearer, that he cannot be the man there. One person stood up against a majority of Ghanaians and said he will not sack him. At the end of the day, you'll be exposed. And that's exactly what's happened. I'm not happy he has lost his job because I know he's got a family to take care of. But I am also bold to say that when it comes to this particular job, it's about the results. And in this case, the man was just not up to it. Good morning to Sporty FM. We can now talk.
Chris, you know, if you, I was listening, I'm sure you were listening to Raymond and all. Why do you think head coach Otto Addo must have lost all the support? Because he had the strong backing of the FA. They were with him from day one. And now they've had to pull the plug on his appointment. In your mind, can you fathom or can you just maybe guess where you think he may have lost the plot with the FA and where they decided that, you know what, this guy was the person we gave the job to, but look, it's not working, so let's just move on to something else?
Nathan, we've had several interviews. You remember I've told you that I believe Otto Addo avoided or Nicodemously coached our team so badly that we shouldn't qualify for the AFCON. Because I knew that if he had taken us to the AFCON, this thing would have happened long ago.
Okay.
Because there are times when I look at him and I watch the way he goes about his coaching. I say, this man, if he had taken it to the AFCON, he would have been so exposed that we would have had no option than to sack him. Now, since I think the Black Stars' last competitive game was in that two Korea-Japan games that we played.
Yeah.
There was nothing to write home about. But you see the game on Friday, when you have your free kick expert or your free kick taker, taking the free kick from deep in your half, not delivering the ball under a particular trajectory, but doing what we care or what we say, a shimmy, now play. The moment I saw Jordan Ayew in our half, kicking the ball, free kick, boom, high up, for us to go and compete when it was not desperation time. You do such things in football when you are exiting the tournament or you are losing the game and the timing is not on your side, and therefore you employed every means possible to quickly get the ball into the area or the box of your opponent and get everybody to compete, hoping that it will break loose for one of your players and then he slots it in. But not when we are 22nd minute, 23rd minute in the game. And then we get a free kick in our half, and our number 9, who's supposed to be, is like Hurricane being asked to go and kick the ball from deep in the half of England into the penalty box of the opponent. Jesus Christ, what was that? Again, if you look at the game on Friday and you saw the manner in which we attempted building from the back in this modern game is fundamental. It's not by force. If you cannot do it, you play to your strength. We kept doing the things that got our team exposed. And the icing on the cake to me tactically was when I saw Lawrence Ati placing the goal kick on the 6-yard line. And then who did I see there? I saw Sibo, not once, not twice, but in the 6-yard box, receiving the ball from Ati, virtually leaving Thomas Partey alone in midfield. And look at the player who has been asked to receive a player who is not a ball progressor. And I'm asking myself, Otto Addo, does he know the strength of his players? Does he clearly understand what each and every one of them can do and cannot do? That was completely unacceptable. And then when I saw him jubilate when Jordan Ayew scored 1, we were 3-0 down. So when we scored, I said, Jesus Christ, this is so mediocre. It's so unacceptable. And the players look very confused, very disjointed. Nobody understands his or her role. When we get the ball, even on the counter-attack, you see all our players moving towards one direction. Nobody is able to turn. Is that the shape of the team? That cannot be. You cannot take this to the World Cup. We followed the World Cup for years. The standard there is so high that you cannot hope that whatever you do will bring you your result. You need to believe that whatever you do is what is going to get you the result. And Otto Addo, we're hoping that let's do it this way. Let's hope that by doing it this way, it will work out. At that level, you don't hope. You believe in what you do, and you make sure it works as a result of that. And so therefore, if you look at the way the man has coached our team, forcing our best progressor in midfield to go and play at right back, doing a back 3 system that has never worked for Ghana. Most people has forgotten, but let me chip this in quickly. You remember when Avan Grant came to Ghana, leading to that AFCON?
Yeah, the AFCON
in
that
2015.
AFCON,
the first game we lost against Senegal, you remember he went a back 3?
Yeah.
And we lost the game 2 or 3-1. And the players walked to him and told him that, Avram, we trust you. But the back 3, dear, we cannot. Change this system into a back 4 and we play. Look, Nathan, I'm stating on record that some of the players had gone to Otto Addo. They've told him that the back 3 thing will not work. The back 3 that forces Jonah Adete into our team, somebody who shakes, somebody who is never comfortable in possession of the ball. The attributes. You see, the moment I see the man continuously playing the back 3, I say, does he understand the attributes of the back 3? Look, the back 3, the foundation of every back 3 is the guys you see at the back there. That is why in describing the system, we say it's a back 3 transition to a back 5. Go and study. When you go to the coaching courses, when you even read the attribute of the back 3, the 3 guys there, they should all be very comfortable in possession of the ball. They should be ball progressors. They should be defenders who can drive the ball into midfield when the midfielders have been eclipsed and invite the opponent and then pick the pass. Jiku doesn't do that. When you put Jiku under pressure, he balloons the ball. So the best system to benefit for Jiku is to play him in the back 4 where he'll be doing all the hustling, and then there's what we call the natural sweeper behind him who will be picking up the loose balls and then doing the distribution. Jonas Adishti, he's not comfortable on the ball. The least said about Lucasen and Pfeiffer, the better. If you look at those guys that are playing in the back 3, what are they doing there? They don't have the quality. You are making life extremely difficult for them. Why do you do that? Why? Everybody's telling you don't do it. You won't do it. You won't stop. Look at our boy, that Yerenchi boy, abundant talent. That boy who is a proper box-to-box midfielder. He's a workaholic. You can clearly see the restriction of the boy at right back. Otto Addo comes to the press conference and he defends why that boy should be there. He went and more or less struggle over a player with Togo. I would have thought if that player speciality is a right back, why do you prevent the Togolese people from getting hold of the player? Convince the boy, comes back. In your most important two friendly game, you never give the boy even what? A pass. Ha! What is this? Where from this? So everything was clear. That he looked confused. And for me, it's not only him. The entire backroom staff, all of them should exit. Not only about it, all of them should exit.
You think the entire team, backroom staff should be moved on?
Look, apart from the medics, apart from the medical team, but anybody who is involved in tactical thinking, Otto Addo, Schaefer, the people they brought, John Pencil, Desmond, all of them should exit. All of them will have to exit the position because at the end of the day, they are held responsible for what we saw. That shambolic, abysmal performance that has come to characterize the Black Stars cannot be allowed to go on. Look, I admit, Nathan, our team is on the decline. But you know, the very first and bold step to stop the decline is to make sure the team is properly coached.
Okay.
That is the first thing you do to stop a decline. And then, once the team is being properly coached, you give the coach now the opportunity to begin to infuse, to begin to introduce players who are going through the developmental stages, new players who are coming to the team. This team has never been properly coached. Even in games that we should be dominating, we are doing bing, bam, boom, bam, bing, boom. What is that? You have our most intelligent midfielder turning to tell the technical team, tell them to stop playing the football, let them put the ball on the turf and let's play. When you balloon the ball, you render Thomas Partey completely useless. When you balloon the ball, you render all our Semenyo and Co completely ineffective. But this man felt comfortable when we were playing like that. A typical example is the Austrian team. Nathan, when was the last time they qualified for a major tournament, like the World Cup? It's been over 30 years.
Yeah, also have not been
since they went to the World Cup.
Yeah, they have not been to the World Cup in a very long time.
In a very long time. Even in the Euros, until recently, they struggled to make the Euros. They don't have special players. They don't. They have ordinary players. But because the coaching is better, they can compete against any team. We saw them in the last Euros. You saw that we saw how competitive they were.
Yeah.
Because they have been coached properly. Rafrani walks into the team and he realized that, look, these guys are not stars. And this is where that high-pressing teamwork organization is depends on. He's coached them properly. So look at what they are doing. We could give you several examples. On the continent, even here in Africa, which team do you look at currently going to the World Cup and you question that they are not being properly coached? Look at Cote d'Ivoire. Look at Morocco. Look at Egypt. Look at Senegal. Even in Africa, all the teams going to the World Cup, we had the weakest technical team. And this is something I have repeatedly said that, please, it's not about hatred. Nobody hates anybody. But if you are Ghana and there's Ghana in you, you cannot take Otto Addo to the World Cup. You cannot give him $50,000 and spend the amount of money you spend on Wilfred Schaefer and all those people as backroom staff, and our team go and play like this and we allow that to continue. Nobody will do that. Nobody should allow that to happen. So for me personally, he was just not cut for the job. Let's be bold enough and get somebody better. Somebody who will walk into our dressing room like Avangran did in 2014. I remember he came into that team somewhere late December with the AFCON in January. He walked into the dressing room and go and ask the protagonist at the time, ask Asamoah, ask Wakaso and Co. He clearly defined the role of everybody. And he told them, this is something that one of the players told me, whose name I cannot put out there. The player said that when he came, he admitted to them that we don't have enough time to work in the group way. But I'm going to define the roles of every player here. If you can perform your role, 80%, everybody give me between 70 to 80% of your role, we become a unit very difficult to beat. Now, when Avrangan attempted to do a back three and he backfired, and the players down suggested to him that the roles you've given us, we think we'll perform it better in the back four. He said, okay, let me revert to what makes you guys comfortable. Because the back three is so difficult a system to teach within that short time. He reverted. We should have won the AFCON in 2015. We deserve by far. Once we went back to a back four and we hit our groove, we were the best team of the tournament. Okay? But there's the man who will not budge, who will not listen to anybody. You are not there, but you behave as if you are there. Look, it was long overdue. Nathan, this decision should have been taken a long time. We have given ourselves 72 days to make a decision like this. I'm not worried at all. But make sure you get somebody who will just step in when Partey sees him, when Jiku sees him. You see, a coach that will, his presence alone will command respect and demand and command confidence from our boys. Mm-hmm. A coach who they will believe that, hey, this man, he's done it before. So whatever he's telling us is tested, is proven, is factual. It can work because it has worked before. You give the job to somebody who has not done anywhere. The man, after coaching us in Qatar, Sporty, when he went back to Dortmund, he was reinstated as the scout. Dortmund even did not see him good enough to add him to their first team technical bench. He didn't go there. He was reinstated as a trainer scout. When we talk, people say, why are we talking? But at the end of the day, me, if I'm not up to the job, don't give it to me. If I'm not up to the standard, don't give it to me. And I mean, the way I've carried myself, if I know I cannot perform, I'll not even accept the job. It's not about being greedy or being overly obsessed about wanting to do something that you know deep down that you cannot do. So we have brought this upon ourselves. But I believe strongly in the minister. I believe strongly in the people who will take the decision. I don't trust Keto Kreko. I don't believe in him. Don't get him. Look, every coach he's given to us has been a bomb. Every coach. Every coach Keto Kreko has been a bomb.
And who are the coaches?
Oh, no. The one we all thought you were allowed to do the Sigakono. He should have been left to do the job. He more or less interfered with his job. Mm-hmm. He went and brought us Milo. Milo at the time had not coached for close to 3 years. The man was enjoying his holidays. You brought him, bomb. Chris Hughton came, bomb. Otto Addo, bomb. All of them, bomb. What is that? What is that? What is that? What at all have we done wrong to deserve such punishment?
But coach, coach.
Yes, sir.
Chris Hughton was more of a government choice then.
But it was a bomb. It was a bomb. Whoever brought him was a bomb. You remember I told him, don't give it to him. Yes, He's bam, boom, bam, bim, boom.
Yeah.
If you look at it, no, it was a bomb.
I remember that so well.
Yeah, I said it. You see, look, most people are saying, who do we go for next? Mm-hmm. I don't know. There are coaches out there. If I have my money, I'll call the Moroccan coach, the one who they just fired.
Walid Regragui.
I will speak to him.
But do we have Walid Regragui money?
Oh, no more. The money given to Schaefer, the money given to Otto Addo, the money given to that entire backroom staff. Walid Regragui does not need 20 backroom staff.
But Walid Regragui won't work with 5. I'm sure he will have a large back room. I'm sure.
No, he will have a large badge with proper quality, but I'm not sure to be up to 20. I'm not sure because he knows what he's coming in there to do. He doesn't need Schaefer nani if attack top any in nuko be kele nuko. Bomo nani she kebo nuko mini ko wudi nani. You understand?
So Walid Regragui is option 1. Which other option? Which other option would you want as Black Stars head coach?
You see, there's this man who has always loved Ghana, whose job is on the line, somewhere in Saudi.
Yeah.
I pray he gets the sack. We pick him up quick.
But again, so my question still stands: will we be able to afford somebody like Hervé Renard? Because the salary
was paid less than $50,000 when he was coaching the French national team. The women's army. We can talk to him. Henry Renard would take something. See, we are giving him the opportunity to coach the team he's always wanted to coach. He's always fall in love with. He's on record to have said it. In fact, when we were appointing Coach Otto Addo, I'm also putting on record, Henry Renard was spoken to, and at the time he told the people at the FA, get an interim. Let me take my country's women's team to the Olympics. After that, I'll come and take the job. Ketu Kreku, knowing that he cannot control. Can you look at Henry Renard? Look at his personality. You think Ketu Kreku can go in there and control him?
But are you saying that former head coach Otto Addo was being controlled by the FA?
Once he got compromised, he was controlled by the FA. He's always been controlled. But have you seen a coach didn't do well when they are sacking? They sack the assistant and they leave the coach. Have you seen some before in world football? No more no go Coach Ebo Omode, Ebo Omode. Na bashwe, ashwe a assistant emu na shile.
No, I haven't seen that.
It is only under Ketu Kreku that I saw such a thing happen. I've never seen that before. It's never happened before. So you ask yourself, everything that was being done in an anti-clockwise manner against the acceptable tradition and norm that everybody elsewhere is doing. Ketu Kreku alone was doing the direct opposite of what needed to be done. Tried and tested proven methods of working. He did the direct opposite. So hence we are where we are. Look, for me, this decision, go deep down, the players backed it. But from day one, when I listened to my minister, Honorable Kofi Idi Adams, he told us that when he got the job, he spoke to certain players.
Yeah.
And those were the senior players in the team. And what was their comment? Sack the man. Sack the man. He's not up to the standard. How come you've worked with Antoine Semenyo for so many times? You can't even do the team in search for the ball to get even one proper game. Nathan, do you remember any very good game Antoine Semenyo plays for the Black Stars?
No.
Jordan Ayew picks up the ball, he cannot pass, he's not passing, he's dribbling to nowhere, he's there going around in circle, and the coach stands there and allows that to happen? Who does that? You cannot demarcate areas for Jordan. So Jordan, when you are here, it is two touch, receive, pass, and move. If you are skillful, get into the final attacking third of the opponent and prove your skill there. There, if you are fouled, we get a penalty, we get a free kick from which we could score a goal. But even in front of our box, Jordan J, he's dribbling past everybody and going nowhere. And the coach is there, he cannot tell him to stop that. Football is not playing like that. Football is not playing like that. Messi doesn't dribble in the half or in the final, in the defensive third of his team. He receives, he passes, he receives, he let go, and then the team is on the transition.
Okay.
Yesterday, look, there was a proper counter-attack. When Semenyo took off, 1v1, all Jordan needed to do was to play the ball. Semenyo will face the defender, 1v1. You saw what he did, isn't it?
Yeah.
He picked the ball and turned and brought the ball back into our half. Jesus Christ, if I'm the coach, I'm ballistic. Come and sit down. What sort of football is that? What sort of football is that? Players are making elementary mistakes whilst the game is on. You can rectify that. You cannot fix that. You can allow it to happen once or twice, but it cannot be the norm. The moment it's becoming an establishment, you stop it as the manager. And there's a simple way of stopping that. In my half, compulsory is 2 touches. Anybody who touches the ball more than 2, you are in big trouble with me. Simple. Instill that into them. Pass, receive, and move. Pass, receive, and move. In the final, in the middle of the ball, when as for the wingers, they are given the license to attack the fullbacks. Because normally in football, when the winger is successful against a fullback, that is an obvious chance. He picks up the ball, like we saw yesterday with Atakon. When the moment he got the betterment of the fullback, it was an advantage. Once the pass is right, it's in the back of nobody's stopping that. Nobody's stopping that. Get Jordan Kobole team around the center circle, inside the center circle. No destination, no end product, zero. And nobody's correcting that.
Okay.
A better coach will correct that. Don't get me wrong. He's an integral member of the team. But now that he's become so slow, the best way to impact the Black Stars is to let go of it, especially in our half, in the third, but in the final attack and third. Jordan, you are skillful. Show your skill and let's see.
Okay.
That is how you play football. Basic, simple, basic direction and clear instruction will make your team a better team. He couldn't do that, so he had to go.
Voice of sport.
Okay. Wow. Okay, Chris, thank you so much. I guess we'll see how it plays out. We'll see who is appointed next. We'll see where we all go from here. Now that Otto Addo is no longer in charge of the team.
No, Kameji. The entire backroom staff has to sweep them all.
So you said the backroom staff has to go.
All of them will have to exit. And what are they doing? For example, Desmond Milichon, John Penson, Schaefer, what exactly are they doing there? Do you think their presence there will make our team better, will improve our team? Bioko Green should go and focus on the women. That is what he's been employed for. If he was promised to be taken to the World Cup, not with this. He's got a job to do. He's got a better awaiting job for him to go and focus on constant, because the Black Queens will have to go to the World Cup.
Yeah.
And it is the AFCON that taketh them there. So he should go and focus on that one.
Okay.
He should go and focus on that one. Get a proper coach. Look, if you want to go domestic, a simple advice. It will not be bad if they look at Akwesi Appiah. He can just, he's renewed his contract with Sudan, but he can just come and take the team to the World Cup and then he goes back.
But how is that even possible when he's coaching one national team and then he has to go and coach another national team? Isn't that a very strange arrangement?
That can be done. No, we've seen it before. We can even go and get Jose Mourinho coaching Benfica.
But that's okay. I mean, that's
we did that with Otto Addo. Otto Addo was employed with Dortmund.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
We spoke to them and he came.
But that's a club job. I'm only saying that with a national team, that's a little strange because he's under contract with one team.
No, but coach, why Kwesi Appiah?
You see, if you listen to me, I said if you want to go domestic, if you want to get our own, I think he's the most experienced.
Okay, so
if you want
are we going to bring him back
from Ghana?
No, coach.
Say that again.
Are we going to bring him back for a third time?
Listen, he's an upgrade of Otto Addo. I champion that instead of giving a job to Otto Addo, give it to Appiah. Appiah will do a better job.
Better job up to which level?
That's what I'm saying. That wherever we are going, he's been there before. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he's my first choice, but I'm saying that if we cannot get anybody outside Ghana who is top notch, I don't think there's any Ghanaian coach who can do that job apart from Akwesi Appiah. I say that with all boldness, and I'm ready to debate anybody on that matter. Because there's no Ghanaian coach who has experienced what he has experienced at that level before.
Okay.
That is the point I'm making.
Okay.
But he's not my ultimate choice. I won't give him the job once. If there are others who could do a better job, I'll give it to them.
Okay. Chris, thank you. Thank you so much. We'll see how things go, but thank you so much for your time.
It's always a pleasure.
So that's Coach Christopher Nimley sharing his thoughts. Time check is 8:34. You can send in your comments as well. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. You can send us a voice note. Today, I'd love to hear more voice notes. We'll open the phone lines ultimately. I know people want to talk. We'll open the phone lines ultimately so you can share your thoughts. Ray, what do you have to say?
Again, Nathan, with the backroom staff or the technical team, that a decision hasn't been made on yet.
Yeah.
In the coming days, there'll be a clear direction as to what the fate is for this technical team. Now, part of the reason why most of them were brought in
this is Sporty FM,
was simply
to
provide technical support to Otto Addo. Obviously, I mean, for obvious reasons. Okay. Now that Otto is out of the way, most of them would be moved on. or most of them would have to move on. Most of them would have to leave the team. Because whoever comes in would also have his preference of his own backroom staff. Okay. And looking at the situation that we find ourselves, a few would remain, but most of them would have to move on. Just so the new coach also comes in with his own people and then tries to fix things. So it's almost like a case of the accessory following the principal. So once Otto goes, the accessories all fall off. So that's what's going to happen. But what we know again is that the decision to hire a new coach for the Black Stars will not be a decision that will be left solely at the doorsteps of the GFA to take.
Okay.
This time round, we are going to get a lot more interest from the state. The state, which puts itself in the position as the bankroller or the principal source of payment, would want to be interested in the processes that lead to the appointment of a new coach. The state will be very much involved this time round. Now, what we know is that the state would not appoint a manager or would not help appoint a manager who will be under the control of certain people. The coach will be independent. The coach will not be influenced by anybody. Whether it's from the state or it's from the FA, he will not be influenced by anybody. He'll be given the most freedom, or he'll be given all the freedom to manage affairs concerning the national team. So, unlike the past where a name is presented and then the state jumps on, okay, we are going to pay this coach. The state will be part of whatever processes that will go on before the appointment of a new coach, just to make sure everybody is in sync with even the criteria that is put out for the appointment of a new coach, interim or long-term basis. So it's not going to be business as usual anymore. It is not going to be a matter of the FA form a committee and then they throw away the criteria set out for the appointment of a new coach only to headhunt the coach they want to bring in. Okay? Look, it's going to be a transparent process, and the next coach will be awarded on merit based on the credit he has in the bank, based on his credentials, based on his record, based on his body of work. And the state will be heavily involved in making sure the right decision is taken for the future of the senior national team, the Black Stars. So, I mean, everybody should rest assured that, look, rest assured that the right decisions will be made. And then there will be the hope that whoever comes in can go out there and deliver with the Stars. I mean, nobody's expecting the Stars to go and win the World Cup. But the key word will be for the Stars to go to the World Cup and put out a credible showing. A showing worthy of praise. Even if they exit at the group stage, Ghana should play at the World Cup and not get battered 5-1, 6-1, 7-1. But come out with very decent and respectable results. If the Black Stars win games, fair enough. If the Black Stars progress in the competition, fair enough. But it shouldn't be said that with all the quality players or some of the quality players we have in our squad, the Black Stars go to the World Cup and get embarrassed. That shouldn't be something that shouldn't be a feat that should be for the Black Stars at this year's World Cup. No way.
839 054 257 1061. What do you make of the sacking of head coach Otto Addo? You can send us your WhatsApp messages. So many messages. You can send your voice notes as well, equally on 054 257 1061. We'll get all of them and play them at a go. But my producers, let me go through a lot of the messages. So many messages. So many messages. Paradise from Accra Newtown says sacking Otto Addo is a good one, but it was too late. He was supposed to be sacked after failing to take us to the AFCON. They should go for the Mali coach or the former Chelsea coach Enzo Maresca. Do you have Enzo Maresca money? Nathan from Kaswa says, shame on the people at the GFA. Didn't they know that Otto was a rookie and they handed him the contract that gave him the upper hand? They denied us a chance to get a proper coach who would have gotten a grip on the team by now if they had given that window for Otto to be sacked right after failing to qualify for the AFCON. If indeed they wanted to keep Otto because he was Ghanaian, why not let him be an assistant and get a top-level coach for him to understudy like Otto, like Kwesi Appiah? Okay.
Nathan, quick one here. You see, to be fair to the FA,
Sporty FM.
the FA clearly had a plan.
Which was?
Otto had a first stint with the Stars. Played 2 games against Nigeria, right? Played a couple of friendlies, went to the World Cup, won a game at the World Cup. After the World Cup, his head turned. He said he didn't want to continue. Or, let's say his contract came to an end. Okay. Now, knowing the FA, I think that the FA's appointment of Otto was not, when you look at the reasons behind it, it wasn't bad. So they were looking at a coach who would give you continuity. Okay. Croatia have had a coach since 2016, right? Yes. So Zlatko Dalic has been there since 2016. Continuity. So you look at the intent. Give a coach a 34-month contract. Let him stay with the team. Let him build the team. Let him know his players. Almost like Aliou Cissé in Senegal. Because, of course, when Aliou Cissé took that Senegal job, he was a rookie.
Yes.
But he took his time.
Yeah.
He made his mistakes on the job. He learned on the job.
Yeah.
He got results. Eventually, he won the AFCON.
Yeah.
So the intent was right. The only challenge was that maybe Otto was not the right man for that kind of project.
Exactly.
Maybe Otto failed to grow into the role and put himself in a position where he will now become that coach worthy of praise, or that coach who will be talked about as the man who turned around the fortunes of the Stars. Maybe Otto did himself in, or Otto didn't cover himself in glory with the opportunity that he was given.
Yeah.
But I don't think that the FA were totally wrong to have brought in Otto. I think they had a plan.
You see,
it just didn't work.
I think that from the off, this is where I fault the FA. If you knew that Otto was going to be the man, why bring out this very lofty criteria? You understand? So it was, so from the off, the appointment really, it sounded really odd because the FA listed all the things it wanted. And I'm sure I thought through a lot of things before stating that criteria. And then the man you appoint, he meets practically none, except
the qualification,
the UEFA coaching badge.
Yeah, that's it.
So why make that move anyway?
So again, Nathan, that's why I said they would have felt that we've had the chance to work with him before. We think, given time, he becomes your Aliou Cissé, or he becomes your Zlatko Dalic.
Okay.
Giving time.
But you see, you listed a certain criteria. You understand? Now, Aliou Cissé's success was not only because he was Senegalese.
Right.
His success was because he knew what he wanted. Of course, he was a rookie. He made mistakes. But at least when you watched his teams play, his teams were no pushovers.
Again, what may not have worked for Otto was that he inherited a Black Stars team that had to go through what you would call rebuilding. You ask yourself, was he the man to rebuild the Black Stars team? Did he have what it took then to rebuild the team?
That was the critical question
Because
that should have been
a lot of players
answered.
had dropped off. We didn't have Asamoah Gyan anymore. We didn't have Essien. We didn't have Appiah. We didn't have Muntari. We didn't have Wakasu. A lot of players had dropped off. So it needed a coach with a lot of experience to remodel the new look Black Stars.
And
So again, the FA would have thought, let's bring in a coach who will grow with the team, because new players will be coming on board. So again, I don't want to fault the FA too much for going for Otto, because if you look at that World Cup squad, the 2022 squad, it was the team that was supposed to possibly by this time be one of the forces to reckon with on the Africa continent. But it never happened. And again, Otto would possibly blame it on not always having the full complement of his squad. Today, players are injured. Tomorrow, he doesn't. Today, he has this player. Tomorrow, he doesn't have that player. Today, this one is injured. You know, all sorts of things have happened to him in the course of trying to shape up a squad. Senegal never really dealt with that. For the longest of time, Sadio Mane had been that man. Carry them along. Kalidou Koulibaly, all these players. I mean, so again, you can tell that Otto had issues with even the quality at his disposal, to be fair. And I think he made mention of that yesterday in his post-match press conference.
Yeah.
Look, I mean, he's had to deal with quality issues. He's had to deal with challenges with players.
But you see, Ray, a coach's basic task is to coach your X and O's. So you don't have certain players. Do you adapt? Do you modify the plan? Do you find a different way to execute the plan? Because absence, injury, those things are part of the game. I feel that Otto failed terribly at doing the basics, the X and O's in a game. This is what the opposition is doing. How do I respond? Okay, Kelvin, I'm coming to you. 054 257 1061. Lots of WhatsApp messages are coming. Remember, we'll go through all your messages. But before we proceed, for those who are interested in the numbers, Otto Addo's second coming as the Black Stars, 22 matches played. Right? He coached 22 matches. He won 8, drawn 5. Right? He won 8, he drew 5, sorry. Lost 9. 35 goals scored, 28 goals conceded. If all those games, right, if you are assigning points to all those games, there was a potential of winning 66 points. Otto got 29. And he did an average of 1.32 points per game. Right? So all those 22 points, all those 22 matches, they were not matches in which points were awarded. There were some without points. So, for example, like the friendlies. And a lot of those matches. So the friendlies did not have any points. But if you put all of them together and you were assigning 3 points to each of those games, Otto didn't even get half of 66 points in the 22 match reign. Calvin, make your point and then
Nathan, you see, when I see statistics like this, because of my background in maths, I tend to disagree. You know,
why?
When we are talking about games that award points,
yes,
we are talking about competitive games. Okay.
Yes.
Now, Otto played qualifiers during the AFCON.
Yes.
And played qualifiers during the
World Cup. So those games had points.
Good. In the AFCON, he picked only 3 points, right? From a possible, I think there were 6 matches
games,
to be played.
Yes.
Six games.
Yes. In the AFCON qualifiers,
yes.
6 games. He got 3 draws.
3 out of a possible 18.
Yes.
Right.
3 out of a possible 18.
Good. Now, put that 3 down. Now, he picked 25 out of a possible 27 during the World Cup qualifiers. Okay. That in itself cancels out all the negative results he got during the AFCON qualifiers. Because that would have come up to 28 points out of a possible that is 28 points. So that's 18 plus 27. 28 points out of a possible 25. 45.
45.
28 over 45.
Okay.
That is above average.
28 points.
Yes. Out of 45 in his competitive games where points were awarded.
Okay.
So statistically, Otto can rate himself high on those marks.
Yeah.
You understand, Kevin? You get me? Because during the qualifiers, he drew only 1 match and won 8.
Which one? In the World Cup qualifiers. Okay.
There were points to be taken. So out of a possible 45, Otto picked 28. That per any scorecard is decent. Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong. But you see, when you lamp it up with the friendly games, and then you try to award points for even the friendly games, let me put it that way, then, I mean, you almost make it look like Otto was very horrible. No. I mean, I'm to be fair, in the games where something was at stake, he failed the AFCON qualifiers, but he did well with the World Cup. So that in itself, there was a set-off. There was a bit of set-off. A bit of a set-off. The friendly games, I mean...
No, there's nothing like there was a bit of a set-off.
No, Kelvin.
Raymond, I don't want us to go there. No. There's nothing like a bit of a set-off.
No, this is mass.
No, we are not doing mass. This is football. No, this is football. No, this is football. This is football. A win is a win. You get it? And you see, the work that he did not give any confidence. Look at the play. Look at the manner in which we lost games. Nathan, I know that you finish up, but come back to me.
Okay, I'll come back. Immortal is stressing. He says I should read messages. Okay, so you, Kelvin, let me read. I was telling him that let Kelvin finish and the message, but you let me read message. Sports Messiah says, thank God Otto has been sacked. I think Coach Nimli should be appointed as okay. I am. Hey, Emmanuel, your namesake is here. Is he a relative? Somebody says I am in Bolga. Check, or maybe it's a relative of yours. It says the God we serve will not fail, or will not see us fail. He rescued us and saved us from collecting woto at the World Cup. Okay, now let's bring in Elvire now. I see. Raymond, good morning, Nathan and Raymond. Achu from 37. Hello, Achu. The sacking of Otto is long overdue, an opportunity to bring Walid Regragui, and who is an upgrade both defensively and offensively. He will command the respect of the players and make use of the quality within the squad. The government must be willing to pay to make it happen. I see. This one says, I use spoon to eat fufu. I use my hands to praise the Lord. It's been long overdue. Otto had to be sacked right after we missed out on the AFCON. Now we have two options. Either we go for Enzo Maresca as an interim or Walid Regragui long term. I don't see Saudi letting go of Elvire now. Okay, Newell sent that. Sharif Banahini from Ashaiman says, what does Raymond mean by we should feel for Otto? The man has achieved his biggest dream. It's the dream of every black child born in Europe to either play for them or play against them and played well. The man has achieved his wildest dream to play against Germany, and he nearly embarrassed them. Okay. Francis from Atonsu says, I've always loved the idea of giving young coaches the chance. So it's quite sad Otto is getting the sack, but it's very necessary. Is very necessary. The signs were glaring that he did not have it in him to lead the Black Stars. My only worry is that the FA won't make the same mistake and appoint somebody who come and fumble like Otto did. Good morning, Nathan and Papare. In my estimation, I think the sacking of Otto is a step in the right direction, considering the output of the team in recent times. Under Otto's stewardship, it was inspiring to watch our Black Stars. If I'm being honest, I don't think Otto should have been given the nod a second time. The work rate and skills are below par for a top job like the Black Stars one. Nelson from Dowinya sends that. Someone from Techimentia in the Half region says, I think Ghana is in the Tottenham situation right now. We don't need to employ Igor Tudor, but rather a proven manager. If we try to do what Spurs did, we'll end up in a real mess. Okay. Josh from Amman from... Okay. This one says, Cisse coached the under-23 team of Senegal for 2 years before graduating to the national team. Newell from Begro sent that particular one. Okay.
Let's give Otto Black Stars B.
Okay, Kelvin, you were making your points. When you are done, I'll bring in Michael Asaibuedu wearing the Sin City cap.
When Kelvin is done,
yeah,
I have how do you call it?
What do you want to say again?
No, I have 3 options I want to talk about before I go. So you grant me that. When
Kelvin, please, that's what Raymond, don't mind.
I think this was long overdue. It was long overdue. But what this says is, the FA continue to make, themselves laughable with the appointments that they've made. Frank Kwesiapia was there. They got rid of him, brought in CK. CK left office. They sacked him, brought Milo, the Matrai Makwaya talks. Yes, and then he has
Milo too.
Milo left, and then Otto Otto left, and then Chris Hughton came. Chris Hughton left, and then Otto has come in. Before this appointment, many were questioning the criteria the FA put down, and Otto missed out on a number of those prerequisites, but they continued to appoint him. Fine. they stuck with their decision, and a lot of defense came through. Now we move on, and he fails to qualify for the African Nations Cup. That was the time Otto had to leave the job. It was clear that he was struggling with the team. Fine, he makes amends. He's backed, and he makes amends by qualifying for the World Cup. After the World Cup, he starts engaging in friendly games, and he's lost all those friendlies. The president of the Football Association, just a couple of months ago, is it more than a month, that interview? A little over a month. It's not up to 2 months. Then he was asked specifically, is Otto going to be sacked? And he said, a man who has qualified a nation to the World Cup, what are you guys saying? Are you kidding? You get it? Which meant that no matter what happened, Otto was going to be stuck with it and put to, allowed to go and play the World Cup. What changed? Did we sincerely think we were going to beat Germany and Austria? No, sincerely, did we think we were going to beat Germany and Austria with Otto Addo? It was never going to happen. And all of us know, especially with the scouting and then with his choice of players, with the style he wants to play, with the number of assistants he's given, you are not seeing any progress. Why the chaos now? Just about 70 days or what to the World Cup. And we have sacked our coach. When teams are fine-tuning, some are just looking at finalizing their squads. We've managed to sack our coach. We've decided to sack him. And that came after an improved performance, which they were always looking forward to, which meant the decision had been made during the Austria game or just after the Austria game. Now, I just hope that the next appointment, the FA and their technical directorate going to give us a new coach should make sure this is going to be a coach who can be tested, who can be depended on, who can give Ghana quality play, who can give us what we want, who can be inspiring with his performances and the kind of team he builds for us. We sunk low in the last couple of years in picking coaches. This Football Association knows, the FA knows, and they cannot disappoint. Otto sank his own self. I said it yesterday that his comments from even his pre-game and post-game conferences were so uninspiring. It's made, this someone who was not willing to lead a group of people. And for me, I am glad he's gone. The timing might have brought chaos, but it doesn't mean we cannot quickly resolve things. If Cote d'Ivoire with MS5 did it and then they managed to turn things around mid-tournament, you are going to have your players after the season ends and to build them up to the World Cup, which is just like 2-3 weeks. Which means, yes, if you have a new coach now, he should be able to select the best available materials, put them together put them together in 3 weeks or a month, and get them ready to play at the World Cup. I am happy this decision has been made, but it has kept too long. It has kept so long. And Otto himself will understand that he has been poor. He has been poor. He has not given us any confidence in him, right from start to finish. Now, even the game that we could have dissected proper, our attention has gone off him, because he's not going to be there. So when you dissect it, you are thinking about the new manager who's going to come and then what that new manager is going to give to the Black Stars. Let's just wait and see. The names that we are hearing, obviously, yes, you continue to hear them. But we beg the Football Association. They should not, if they want to pick any coach of theirs, they shouldn't come and give us a criteria and then go against the criteria. I think that is best, because you can't tell me, oh, I'm going to give you water and fish and meat and wele. Raymond, and you come and the watch it is one egg on it. And that was exactly what they gave us. So I just hope that the FA will get the next appointment right. They have disappointed. They should understand. And they hopefully. And as usual, the appointment came midnight. The announcement midnight. As usual, the usual communication. But going into the game, and the number of people knew that Otto was still going to last.
Yeah, a lot of people knew that. Maybe one of those people is Michael Asaibuedu. I'll ask him if he knew beforehand. Ray, you said you wanted to say something.
I would excuse myself.
Yes.
But before I go, 3 names have popped up on the shopping list. 3 names. Three names have popped up.
Okay, who are the 3?
Now, Tom Saintfiet has popped up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that.
Tom Saintfiet on the Africa continent has got lots of countries. Well experienced. He's been with Namibia, Zimbabwe, Ethiopia, Togo, Gambia. He did a great job with Gambia.
Yeah.
He's coached outside Africa, TNT, Malta. I mean, he's been around.
Yeah.
His last job was Mali. Okay. Now, he's one of the coaches many feel, because of his experience and what he's been able to do, his body of work
Yeah.
in the game, he would be able to
says Otto defeated him.
He'll be able to understand. He'll be able to understand this current crop of Black Stars players better and try to get a result out of them.
Okay.
So he's one of the people who's been listed.
Yeah.
Or he's been talked about. Then there is former Cameroon coach Mark Bryce.
Mark Bryce.
Now Mark Bryce has quite an interesting CV. I mean, he's coached lots of clubs across Europe, especially in Belgium.
Yeah.
And then he also comes in as one coach who got Cameroon to the AFCON with an unbeaten record. I mean, his first job in Africa, actually. And he was able to achieve quite a bit with them. And then his only limitation was that he failed to qualify to the World Cup, and he failed to use the second chance, take advantage of the second chance. That was the playoff route.
Playoffs, yeah.
So that again brought its own issues with how do you call it? Samuel Eto'o. And then it got him out of that job. So again, the Belgian tactician is one who's been considered for the job. Now, one man who many have spoken about, but is currently attached, is Hervé Renard. Hervé Renard is now with the Saudi Arabia national team. Okay. Now, he managed to get them to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So Saudi Arabia will be playing at the World Cup. Now, results in recent times haven't gone the way they want. Especially at the Arab Cup when they lost the semis to Jordan. Immediately, the jury came out on him.
Yeah.
Now, in his last friendly against Egypt, where they were beaten by 4-0, Hervé Renard has come under heavy criticism from the Saudi Arabians. Now, according to reports we are picking, Hervé Renard has one game to save his job. And that game will be played today against Serbia. It's a friendly game. If Hervé Renard fails to win that game against Serbia, Hervé Renard gets sacked and Walid Regragui takes over as coach. So it's almost as if the Saudi Arabians have this figured out.
Okay.
Get Hervé Renard out and then bring in Walid Regragui, obviously because of what he's done with Morocco and the fact that he's been able to get them all the way to the semi-finals of the World Cup. I don't know if the Saudi Arabians believe they have good enough talent to go all the way under Regragui. But if that happens, if Hervé Renard gets sacked today, tomorrow, whenever, then a window opens for Ghana to speak to Hervé Renard. Of course, we know he came to Ghana in 2008 to work with his mentor Claude Leroy. And so he has a thing or two for Ghana. Again, we know what he's been able to do on the Africa continent. He's won 2 AFCONs with Zambia, with Katungu and his friends, Stopila Sizu and Ku. And we know how he broke our hearts
in 2015
when Ivory Coast won the final. So again, in terms of his body of work and his achievements, there's quite a bit to say about him. Maybe in recent times, we haven't seen him win too many things.
Yeah.
And so, again, a bit of doubt around him. But he's one coach that many believe can manage this group of players.
Okay.
Again, if you want solutions post the World Cup, if Hugo Broos doesn't retire, then he again becomes an option. Because according to reports, he may not continue. His contract ends.
He stated that he's walking away from South Africa after this World Cup.
Again, if we are looking for options post the World Cup, then Hugo Broos also steps in. So a few options here and there, but I think that the Hervé Renard situation with Saudi Arabia should be one that we should pay keen attention to.
Okay.
We should pay attention to that situation between Heavy Renard and Saudi Arabia. If he's sacked, I think that it's blessing in disguise for Ghana, and we will possibly just find a way to bring him here.
Well, Nathan, myself and the rest of Akatechis, like my class, we also have Kwesi Appiah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
My class, Akatechis, myself. We also have Kwesi Appiah.
You are also
Yes,
throwing Kwesi Appiah's name into the mix.
Yes.
Nathan, the nature of the Black Stars job at the moment.
Nature of what?
The nature of the current, the Black Stars job at the moment.
What has it done?
What has it done?
What we need is for a coach to take us to the World Cup. To take us to the World Cup and give us a decent outing.
Yes, Kwesi Appiah will do it.
Wait. Kwesi Appiah, as we speak, is here to record a win at the World Cup. True or false? The last time we took him to the World Cup, we saw what happened. He was waiting for his opponent to get tired to bring in his best players. We've dealt with all that before.
No. Make you people. You see the hypocrisy. You see the hypocrisy. What they spoke about Kwesi Appiah long ago, that it was now they are tired legs who are playing and they can't say anything about it. What about that? Who were our active players that time? No, tell me who were our active players that time. Nobody can tell me at that time Mike Leeson should have been put into the game. Kevin Prince Boateng.
Against USA in that first game.
Put who in? Kevin Prince Boateng ahead of who?
A winnable game.
Prince Boateng ahead of who? Asian ahead of who?
And you know,
No, answer me.
the funny thing is,
Nathan, let's go to that squad. Put Asian ahead of those who played.
we are going to face another team from that same zone. Panama. In our first game,
Okay, so Ray, hold on.
and Kwesi Appiah, no, later.
No, who allow you to rubbish Kwesi Appiah and bring Heavy Renard and the likes?
We all know the problems of Kwesi Appiah.
But do you know the problems of Heavy Renard?
Kwesi Appiah has had issues dealing with big egos in squads. It's as simple
That's
as
a lie. That's a lie.
could not manage the
That's a lie. That's a lie.
No, but
That's a lie. Where?
But Ray,
Where?
Ray, we also know
But you are talking about the same manager who bruised the egos of the players to put them on the bench.
Yeah.
players.
And you're telling me what?
Kwesi
It was
Appiah-
the same Kwesi Appiah who was strong enough to bench players and use youngsters to give us World Cup qualification.
What kind of qualification that Otto, who has been sacked today, has done back to back? Look, when it comes to qualification,
Back to back.
Ghana has
Back to
never
back, saying.
struggled to qualify to AFCONs or World Cups.
Hey, but now we've been struggling.
First in 2006.
Otto did not qualify for AFCON.
Ray.
Okay, what we are saying here is that, look,
Otto did not qualify for AFCON.
we go for it's almost like we take one step forward and take 10 backwards. Look, Kwesi Appiah's time with the Stars is gone. You can't tell me we are bringing Kwesi Appiah back for the third time to achieve nothing.
Are we looking at his capability? Are we looking at his capability now, or we are just looking? We are just looking at.
No, capability coaching Sudan and achieving nothing with Sudan.
But Gambia, what did Saint Fed achieve with Gambia and Sudan and Mali? No. If you are, I am asking you a question. What did Saint Fed achieve? What did Saint Fed achieve with Gambia and then Mali? Did he win anything? No.
He didn't
So
win.
what?
We've seen this.
But we've also seen Kwesi Appiah's body of
But
work.
if it comes to body of work, Kwesi Appiah equally has a strong body of work to present.
Exactly.
So I think.
And you want to bring Saint Fed? What has he won?
Ray, I think the question we need to
Kwesi
ask
Appiah doesn't
ourselves.
You cannot rubbish Kwesi Appiah here like that.
Ray,
Does he have a UEFA Pro license that
Why?
the FA will be looking for?
Yeah, Otto Addo crowd the buy. Yeah.
I think we need to ask ourselves as a country, what do we want? Do we just want somebody to take the team to the World Cup, or we need a long-term thing? That's something the FA will
World
have
Cup
to
plus
answer.
long term.
All right, let me bring in Michael Asai-Bredu. Michael, good morning. How are you doing?
Good morning, Nathan. I'm good. How about you?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's been a very interesting morning since about 12:30 a.m. All kinds of things have been happening. Just first, your thoughts on the decision to let go of Otto Addo. I'm sure you are not surprised at all it has happened.
Maybe a bit surprised. Yeah, but I knew about the developments that happened post the Austria game. The whole decision that he needed to improve. I think there was a general consensus that whatever unraveled during the game against Austria was not the best and did not inspire a lot of confidence as we approach the FIFA World Cup. And so there needed to be improvements. And the FA, I must say, were forced into making such a decision. I think if left them alone, I don't think they would have just pressed the trigger button on Otto Addo after losing to Austria, and then maybe you can add a German game. But I think a lot of factors, a lot of reasons were given, and then the calls were so strong to the extent that eventually he had to be let go. And I also think Otto Addo did not help himself. He did not crown himself in much glory. I'm a person that speaks to statistics, the numbers. And as per the numbers that at Sporty FM we have put out this morning, it is not the best for a national team coach. He lost more games than won in 22 matches in his second stint. If you are looking at points tally, he picked 22 paltry points out of an available 69. Goal scored 35 years, but goal conceded 28, sorry. These are numbers that do not inspire a lot of confidence. If a coach averages a point ratio of 1.32 per game, clearly it does not speak so well. If a coach fails to beat none of teams in the top 50 as per the world ranking, it is not a pleasant thing. I think his record did not really make enough case for him. But again, contest. I also feel that in as much as there were coaching problems in the Black Stars team, we are oversimplifying the issues bedeviling the team. There is more to it than just coaching. We don't actually have a quality squad. And I said this to make the case that we've not really done well in terms of scouting. We have limited our scouting scope to a select group of players and select regions. When we got Antonianan into the Black Stars team, he was playing for IK Start, a middle table side in a Norwegian top flight. But he slotted in nicely. He did a solid job. When Harrison Affo was an integral member of a Black Stars team, where he made the fullback position his own, he was playing for Esperance de Tunis. Jonathan Mensah, to an extent, was still playing for Columbus Crew when he was playing for the Black Stars. At a point in time, he went out to South Africa. He was still part of the Black Stars. I think, irrespective of where a player plays, whether the country is a known football country, whether their league is popular, forms part of the top 5 European leagues or not, I think it should rather be about the quality the player has to offer and how it addresses a certain need in the Black Stars team. And that is something that we've not done right. We have been forced to rely on players because we think, yes, we know them, we know what they are doing. And in as much as it is clear that they have little to offer the team, even judging by the opportunities we've given them, we still want to stick to them and not open up in terms of allowing new faces to come in and also justify their inclusion. There are decent players from Ghana playing on the African continent. There are decent players from Ghana playing across various clubs across Europe and even in Asia. If we are to open up our scouting network, make it wide enough to scout for players who are hungry and want to prove something, I think it would help us eventually. I think coaching has been an issue, and it's not just an Otto Addo thing again. I don't actually have qualms with sacking coaches for non-performance. Otto Addo's numbers not good enough. The eye test, he also failed it, because if you look at how Ghana play, a lot of Ghanaians watched our games with palpitations. There were fears surrounding watching Ghana games. You always had to sit on tenterhooks and observe how things will go. So he failed on both counts, the eye test and then the numbers game. The issue does not have to do with making a decision to part company with a coach. Where we have had issues is the process of appointing the next coach, and we have failed at this. I have heard people complain that we didn't sack Kwesi Appiah somewhere 2020. Yes, he had to go. The Black Stars needed to take the next step. The whole decision to sack Kwesi Appiah would have been justified if the next step was made in terms of a correct decision.
Yeah.
If we sacked Kwesi Appiah and appointed a competent coach, I don't think we would have been discussing this. But the whole process was influenced. The GFA was looking at a different coach. The government played a part in Sika Akono coming on board, much to the shock of even some of the FA folks. They did not want Sika Akono at that point in time. But Sika Akono was preferred. So he was appointed. Then eventually, CK had an ill tenure and then he had to leave. Now he left. The GFA president famously making that statement of no time for Matrai Makwe brings in Milovan Rajevac. When Rajevac gets appointed, he comes at the wrong time. And the reference was he was basically responsible for our best ever World Cup stint in 2010 when we made the quarterfinals. But we all knew that he was a man who was past his prime. And prior to him getting appointed, had not really contributed a lot to active football. Then again, he had to leave. Now, when Milovan had to leave, the process of appointing his replacement again was a bit flawed. There were influences. I believe at a point in time, Otto Addo came on board. He helped us to qualify for the World Cup. The rationale behind the appointment of Otto Addo then was to play the World Cup qualifiers and leave. Then, enthusiastically, in feeling elated that Ghana had qualified for the World Cup, we had the whole president of a country promising the coach Otto Addo a job that extended his tenure. So he had to take us to the World Cup. And then eventually, it turned out that he wasn't ready. He had to leave. Chris Hughton, another politically influenced appointment. He comes on board. We know that he can't do the job. He has to leave. Then the FA brings out a criteria that looks very much okay if it was applied to the letter. Unfortunately, they didn't. Some aspects of the criteria was ditched, and Otto Addo was handpicked to come and then do the job. So the processes are what looks to me as flawed, and that is why we keep coming back to the same old issue. Since 2020, we have not addressed the issue of having the appointment of a national team coach right on the part of the FA, on the part of government. It is a collective failure. The FA have played their part, the appointment of Otto Addo and Milovan Rajevac. Government have also played their part in the appointment of CK Akono, Chris Hughton. So that is where the problem is. So who becomes the next coach? You can read through the names that have been popping up. Any decision to appoint Hervé Renard now is more sentimental than logical. He's a man whose football powers is waning. He's not a Hervé Renard we knew 2010, 2012. From 2015, when he won the AFCON with Ivory Coast, tell me the most important contribution Hervé Renard has made to international football. He's failed not just in the male football national team contest, but also he was appointed head coach of the French women's team, who didn't do anything substantial. So in 2028, we are still referring to Hervé Renard saying that Ghana is a country he would love to coach. He said this somewhere in 2010. We are in 2028 and we are still clung to that. And we feel that if we need to accelerate the progress of this team and take it to the next level, then names like Hervé Renard will take us there. Yes, he might be an upgrade on Otto Addo, but I don't think he will do a job as many Ghanaians expect. Akwesi Appiah, he's done the job twice. The same old issues we lambasted him for, some are still present in his coaching. He comes back, and then the whole fanfare around his arrival would fade after 2 matches, and we return to hurling abuse and insults at him. But is he the right guy to take us there? Tom Seinfeld, I think he's a low-budget Hervé Renard. He's circled around Africa, done some solid job, but it was Gambia, and then it was Mali. What does Ghana need? Is Tom Seinfeld well-equipped to take us there? So these are the issues I mostly find as befuddling. Yes, we can sack a coach, but the whole process to appoint a new coach is where the problem lies. And until we address that, trust me, we will keep making decisions based on sentiments, based on feelings, based on how we want things to be, which eventually is very different from the reality that will unravel later. So, yes, that is what I feel. I am not surprised that Otto Addo is gone, although there is a bit of surprise to it, judging by the time and how everything unraveled. But My biggest problem is the next step after Otto Addo, the process. And I think that is what is flawed. And unless we address it, whoever we bring on board would definitely not be an improvement as we see.
So if I get you right, it's not necessarily about, getting rid of one coach or other and all of that. It's the system of appointing the coach, all of those things. So you feel that we need to get that part right so the correct man is employed for us to get the results we seek.
Exactly. Because what do we need now? Do we need a coach for the interim, takes us to the World Cup and then we are done? Or we need a coach we can actually look at that he can do a job for the short term and we can still count on him to prepare for the next AFCON. Don't forget, we are in 2026. In 2027, we are playing the Africa Cup of Nations. So any coach that comes on board now should also have a certain plan in mind regarding how we qualify for that tournament and how we fare in that tournament. So it's a building phase. You don't just come, do a short-term thing, and then it works at the World Cup, and then we can't build on it consistently. And again, if we are appointing, you need to have the structures right. Do we maintain the existing structure for the technical team of the Black Stars, or we collapse it and then look at the way for it? Because any top coach who is worth his value will not want to come and be platformed on the existing technical team structure. He will want to come with his own team. Unless we are going for a coach who will say, oh, they are doing me a favor by appointing me. So whatever structure is there, I will just go and work with it. We will not make any progress. I feel there needs to be a certain transition, a certain structure. Why Kwesi Appiah was groomed to the extent that we felt he was ready to handle the national team was that he was part of a certain structure. It developed him, it built him up. So by the time that he was given the job after the AFCON 2012, he was ready to continue. He was ready to do a job. And so we knew that he had been groomed to the extent that he would develop. As it stands now, the only name I see with a lot of prospect is Desmond Afei, but he's not even ready yet for the U23. I heard earlier Kelvin, I think it was Kelvin or Raymond, citing the Ali Usise example. Ali Usise started at the junior level, went with the Olympic team to the Olympic Games, and it was the same crop of players. So he grew with them. I think it was a similar line that the FA wanted to do with Otto Addo. Unfortunately, Otto Addo did not get that privilege of handling any of the junior teams, so he grows with them. He does not just grow with the team, he grows with the playing body. So Ali Usise grew with the likes of Kalidou Koulibaly, Sadio Mane, and then they all elevated themselves to the senior level. So by the time he got the senior national team job, he had players who were accustomed to his style of play and players who also respected him, not just because he was an old player, but they understood the work that he had put in right from that stage to the senior level. So whenever the coach wants something from them, they commit to it. We have not had that. We have not groomed any coach in the last 10 years. Whenever there is such an attempt, it will be fought by the same Ghanaians. So the point is that, what do we want? Do we want one of our own? Where do we start? How do we go about it? I think these are the steps that we can take. If we think we don't have a competent Ghanaian coach available, whether that coach was groomed in a foreign football culture and then we just want to bring him on board for his expertise, or whether that coach went through the typical Ghanaian football structure or system and we want to still move with, we need to look at whether we get an experienced tactician available now. I love so much the Hugo Bruce example. If you get someone like Hugo Bruce, you get a set of local coaches to support him. There can be a Desmond Afei, there can be any other coach, quote unquote, like a Laikinson sort of, who we allow to work with Hugo Bruce, tap into his expertise, gain the necessary experience and exposure, and then build himself for the next 3-4 years. So by the time that we have a certain Hugo Bruce and his time is up, he's leaving or exiting the stage, that local coach would have had enough time to learn, and then he would have built himself up to a certain level that he will be ready to take over. At the same time where that coach doubles as an assistant in that Black Star structure, that coach should be given a job with any of the junior teams, and then he works or progresses with them. It could be the under 20, it could be the under 23, so that that coach would also be having practical experience. Because it is different when you are the assistant, and it is different when you are the main man. So you can be assistant at the Black Stars and at the same time double up as a main coach or head coach of the U20 or the U23. Work with them for a considerable period, and you grow with them and progress with them. We need to have such a plan, and we need to make it work. We need to stop overly influencing the process, whether it is government, whether it is the FA. We need not to overly influence the process. Yes, there can be suggestions, there can be chip-ins, how we should go about things. But I feel if the NSA was empowered, this is their mandate for the technical side of the game. Per the mandate of the NSA, they should have been supervising the technical direction of our national teams. Unfortunately, the NSA has been overly politicized, so they are not even equipped well enough to take such decisions. But I think there should be a certain structure that is independent of some, I don't want to use the word manipulation, but some level of over-influence, and an independent structure that looks at appointment of coaches for our national teams. Yes, there will be representations from government and then the FA, but it should be a body that is competent enough and have the technical expertise to make such decisions, and it would help us eventually. This current format, this current process that we follow, it has proven beyond reasonable doubt that it is not something that will bring us the kind of results that we seek. And the evidence dates as far back as 2020, when Sika Akuno came on board, to present day, post Otto Addo. This process is flawed. It won't help us.
Okay, Ray, you wanted
Yes.
to say something.
So let me add to what Michael has put out. You see, Nathan, there has been a trend with the appointment of our coaches. So 2004, 2006, after Mariano Barreto was Rato Dukovic, he took us to the World Cup, remember? It was, around that Barreto Djokovic time, we were trying to bring in coaches who we knew understood the game. Okay? We were bringing in coaches we knew could help us move to the next level. So Djokovic at this time, we were going to AFCON, Claude Leroy came in, so we hosted the 2008 AFCON, right? Claude Leroy was there, he did his bit, he left. When Claude Leroy was leaving, his assistant then was Celastete. But we were not confident enough to get Celastete to progress because maybe he had learnt enough. So we quickly went back to bring in another manager who we knew and felt could do a job for us based on his understanding of the game and based on how good he is and based on his body of work. Then we went for Milovan Rajevac. Truth be told, anytime we brought in those kind of managers, our game looked different. The results looked different. So under Ratome, 2006 World Cup, under Milo, 2008-2010 World Cup, we saw the Black Stars doing well. Milo left, we still stayed with that tradition of bringing in managers who knew their stuff. Then we brought in Plavi, Goran Stevanovic. He went to one AFCON. There were lots of issues. We felt he wasn't good enough. We gave the job to his assistant, then Kwesi Appiah. Two of us. Yes. Then from that point, we started going into we don't want a foreign coach anymore. We want a local coach. We want our own. Then we started playing the cards of, it is not about competence. It's not about his body of work. It's not about his experience. It's not about what he's won. It's not about what he's achieved. We want a black coach or we want a local coach. Kwesi Appiah steps in. Maxwell Kunedo at a point comes to play a caretaker role. And then we now said, these two didn't work. So let's go back to tried and tested. Let's go back to proven. Then went for Avram Grant. Avram Grant came with a solid CV. Of course, We saw him with Chelsea in the Champions League final. When he came, he did a good job. True or false? Between 2014 and 2017, the Stars looked good. You could tell what they were trying to do on the field of play. They got to an AFCON final. Go and do well. He got to a final. Okay. Around that time, when Avram Grant left, then we now said, let's go back to a local coach. The foreign coaches come. They don't stay in the country to look at our local league. We made all sorts of arguments against local foreign coaches. Then we went back to the cycle again. We brought in James Kwesi Appiah too. When it didn't work, and we sacked Kwesi Appiah, we now brought in his deputy at the time, Sike Akuno. True? We now brought in his deputy at the time, and we gave all sorts of reasons why Sike Akuno was the man. But the same Sike Akuno struggled to manage local clubs here in this country. True or false? Oh, I mean,
at that time, I think CK was on top.
But no,
after his work with Asante Kotoko in the CAF Confederations Cup, that was the reason why they felt that CK had made a leap with regards to coaching.
But he was not there.
And then they gave him the job.
He was not there.
You get it. But if you are a coach and you're able to handle Asante Kotoko. So, and the kind of materials he was handling, he handled different kinds of players with different kind of egos.
That's true.
The likes of Sonia Yakuba, Kwame Bonsu.
That was at the local stage.
No, but you see, this is why the Burkinabes would have their local coaches being given the confidence in as much as they've won little. But look at Burkina Faso.
Yes.
Do they go for it?
So Kevin,
the confidence is with the coaches, leaving them to work, and we all know that CK had lot of control.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if they are not confident in you, they'll try to find a way to manage you.
So it's a problem with the appointing authority.
No, you see, no. Then we went. Of course, the appointing authority is culpable in all of this. Now we brought in Sike Akuno. It wasn't working, or maybe it would have worked. Nobody knows. Then we quickly went back to Milo. When we went to Milo, what were we told? Kevin, at that press conference, what were we told? This is no time for match time.
Yeah.
So Milo went to an AFCON. It ended in disaster. And then we now realized that no, Milo was not the man. Then we now went to play another card that we had never played before. Bringing in our Burger star, our Burger ex-player, who we felt did a good job for Kwesi Appiah during his scouting era, and felt he could do a job because he was in Borussia Dortmund.
Yeah.
He came in, took us to the World Cup. So around that time, now we had sacrificed body of work, competence, what he's achieved, what he can achieve. We sacrificed all of those things, and we're now making emotional decisions. Then we went for Otto Addo. Otto Addo left us after the World Cup. And then another political decision.
Chris
Hutton. What was the basis again for bringing in Chris Hutton? He said he had roots tied to Ghana, former Newcastle coach. We gave him all sort of appellations. We gave him all sort of reviews. We brought in Chris Hutton. Again, when Chris Hutton took that job, the relationship between himself and the people who were supposed to work with him became a problem. You remember how he was sacked? He was sacked at a hotel midnight.
Yeah, of course.
At the AFCON tournament.
Yeah.
Because, of course, everything they had prophesied in his life happened when he became coach. They said he couldn't do it. He didn't do it. After that, we now said, let us go and take another emotional decision. Oh, Otto left under some circumstances after the Qatar tournament. So again, we brought in Otto, not because of his competence, not because of body of work, not because he was a proven winner, not because he had any track record. But we brought Otto because we felt that he could learn on the job and own the job and handle the job. Again, it's backfired. Now, where do we go from here? Where we go from here is to now go back to the rule book. Competence, achievement, body of work, identity or brand of football, and how he understands the game. Now we have to go back to all of that. If we fail to do that now, and we go and take another emotional decision,
and I have a feeling we'll make a mistake,
and we go and take another emotional decision, the cycle continues. So let's go back to when we were looking for competent people to do the work. Competence.
You see, the
cannot
problem,
be sacrificed for anything.
You see, the problem we have is that I think sometimes we fail to recognize where we are, what we can do, right, and what we want to achieve. Somehow, a part of me looks at all of this, and maybe there's this estimation that if we change a coach, we magically show up at the World Cup, and then we go on a semi-final run, or something similar like what Morocco did. Look, going on such a run, it takes a lot.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You are dealing with quality of players, quality of coaching, but I feel the most important, the temperament to handle the weight of each game. And I don't think that psychologically we are a very strong team yet.
No.
So all of a sudden, we are going into a World Cup competition. We are caught up in between. Do we make a decision for the future, or Ghanaians will be very happy with us, the FA, if we do well? Because I think all of this, look, I think the people at the FA might not say it, but they do recognize how Ghanaians feel about them. And in their heart of hearts, they would want to do something to change the story around the GFA and to change how people think or what people think of them. I think that is how come we will make another bad decision.
Yeah.
When we are appointing a coach, I think that is why we'll make another bad decision.
I'm hoping not. I hope not.
Because
I
don't get your point.
You know,
but would you guys be surprised if Kemlas Bjorkegren is said to pick up the team?
Nothing will surprise me.
I won't be surprised. But
nothing will surprise me because, as I've said, we are at this point where instead of making a very common sense decision that says, let us find a coach who can get the team to work, who can build, who can do all the things we want to do, so that in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, we have a good crop that can actually go and win an AFCON. We'll make an emotional decision because we are going to a World Cup. Ghanaians need to be happy. We need to change the narrative around us. So we'll make a decision that is strange.
No, but Nathan, for Kemlas Bjorkegren, he doesn't come into this picture at all. He's not going to be considered for this job.
Okay.
He's not going to be given the head coach job. Look, Nathan, I told you earlier, what the state wants to do is to make sure they bring in a manager who goes to the World Cup and make sure we do not embarrass ourselves at that competition. Again, what they want to ensure is that they bring in a manager who comes in and has all the independence to do his work without manipulation, without control. And the names that are coming up, I don't see any of them possibly landing that way. I've seen Desmond Ofe, I've seen Bjorkegren, all coming from the Otto tree. It won't happen. Look, if it's about money to bring in a world-class coach, what I'm told is that the state is ready to pay.
Okay, Ray, we are bringing a world-class coach for what?
To manage the team to the World Cup and beyond the World Cup.
That is the plan.
That is the plan.
Okay, so if
so
that
it's
is
not as
the
if
plan,
they are going to spend millions of dollars on a coach just to take us to the World Cup, possibly get us eliminated in the group stage or the round of 32, and then that's it. No, there's a plan.
No problem. Well,
and that coach, the state will be ready to break the bank for, just to make sure the fortunes of the national team turns around. That is what we are being told, and that is why the paymaster would, as much as possible, be involved in the consideration when it comes to who becomes coach. They will be in the thick of things.
Okay, we'll have to wait and see what happens. 9:39. I think I'm told our voice notes are ready. Okay. Okay. Before we do that, though, Michael, do you have any final comments? Is there any thoughts you want to share?
Yep, I wanted to make a point, and the point is, you see, Raymond was saying the state wants to appoint a world-class coach. They want to embark on this direction. They want to look at changing the face. But again, since when did we start trusting government to make such decisions and get them right? And I'm not talking about this particular government, but in times past, the appointment of Chris Hughton, CK Akono. So who is a world-class coach in this contest? The names I've been hearing also from that contest. Everina, is he still world-class? If you're looking for the best 20 coaches in the game now, would he fit in there? So the point is that we need to return to the old ways. This decision wouldn't have been an issue if it was about the old practice, how we used to do things. I think we've decided to just collapse every structure that was responsible for developing the various connoisseurs of the game or the various actors in the game, like referees, coaches, players. We've collapsed every structure. In the previous days, we could afford to let go of coaches 2 weeks before tournament, but you will always rest assured that you appoint another coach from the same stables, he will come and do a good job because there is a certain identity. When we had the Ike Afranes, the Samadays, the Atukwe Fios, the Herbert Addos, it is not like we're not sacking coaches. There were times where coaches even qualified us for competitions, they were dismissed and new coaches were appointed. But since they went through the same training and they understood what exactly the work was and there was a certain clear identity, they came and the carry on was smooth. It was simple. They transitioned so easily. And now what is the direction we are headed towards? Who is that world-class coach? And then how does he or she fit into the grand scheme of affairs? Again, for Kimlas Bjorkegren and whatever his appointment and the talk around it, I think it would be a decision that would weaken the Black Queens, which is very unnecessary, and then not necessarily even strengthen the Black Stars. So we might end up collapsing two national teams. And you look at the projection that the Black Queens are on, their trajectory is very positive. Since he took charge from Nora Hopla, what he has done is that the Black Queens have been on a steady progress and they need continuity. Any hiccup to that transition or that process is very detrimental to whatever positive objectives the Black Queens have set for themselves. When will the next WAFCON be played? It will be around same period where the World Cup will be played. It is either directly after the World Cup, and so it means that the Black Queens coach will not have the luxury of running an effective program with his team when he's close. And if he's given the Black Stars mantle, it means he will spend the next 3 months leading to the World Cup focus on the Black Stars and not the Black Queens. And what becomes of the Queens then? So I think we need to be very strategic in the next step. And that has been my concern since. If you sack Otto Addo, it is not the end of the world. And he won't be the first coach Ghana has parted company with. And in fact, the work that he did, there is little reservations to have regarding Otto Addo leaving, apart from being sentimental or emotional about it. But in pure football terms, it's the right decision to make. But don't correct a right decision with a wrong process. It won't work. And that is the point. So what government wants to do, who are the ones engineering it? Who are the ones pushing for it? Government wants to do this. Who is the one advising government? The FA wants to do this. Who are the ones taking the key decisions? That is where we need to look at the issue. So let us not be in the haste to appoint a new coach and then it comes with the headline, Ghana appoints world-class coach. It does not solve our problems. What rather needs to be done is to carefully study the processes we've practiced in these years I've cited. Look at what we did not do right and find a more appropriate way of going about it. We need to be more strategic than sentimental. Unless we do that, we will still keep on running in a loop. We'll be running in circles. We'll come back to this same issue either before the World Cup or after the World Cup. If we go about the same way we appoint coaches, we'll be back to the same issue.
Interesting. We'll see what the GFA will do, what the ministry will do as we go on. 9:45. Let me play your voice notes, and then we'll take some calls. Let me play the voice notes, and then we take some calls. All right. Lots of people sent us different voice notes. So let's hear some of what you had to say via the WhatsApp number 054-257-1061. We are reacting to the sacking of Black Stars head coach Otto Addo after losing 2 friendlies, 1 to Austria, 1 to Germany. Okay, all right. We'll get the voice notes going in a bit. Yes, okay. I think we are ready to listen to your voice notes that you sent via 054-257-1061.
This coach should have been sacked a long time, and you are waiting 2 or 3 months to a tournament, and then you are changing. If not because of these games, you wouldn't have sacked Otto. So Austrian game is what makes you to sack Otto. Then the people who are sacking Otto themselves, they are not serious. The people who are sacking Otto himself, they are not serious. They should have sacked Otto the last 6 months. Guess by now, the people would have gotten their stand and everything. Now 2 weeks, 2 months, they are sacking coach. We cannot continue to be getting this result.
Yeah, it'd be good to say they sack the coach. You understand? But sacking the coach, it'd be good. Where some of the players, you see, the time we on the cruise, they play Real Madrid. Where the interview, you say, Zinedine Zidane, not on trauma show, on trauma DBS, but them the players, and they come together, say, no, let's do it for Zidane. Let's do it for Real Madrid. You know, like Comedy winning Champions League 3 times in a row, back to back. National team, say that like Obo national team. As like they sack the head coach, they should sack everybody from on the national team. I'm telling you, they should bring new people.
I think the states made the right call in telling the FA about their feelings. Yeah, I think the FA never wanted to do anything about the coach's performance. I think that how the citizens we spoke and showing like how we are not happy about the Black Stars made the state to do these things. We enjoyed the African Cup qualifications. We never did well, and yet this coach was still allowed to do his work. So I think it's the right thing, but they left it so late.
You know, in this country, you don't want the truth. Raymond has been talking about sacking of Otto Addo. And I mean, Ghanaians were like, he qualified us to the World Cup, and then they were talking plenty and all that. But that was not the point. A coach who can't even win against, middle table teams, or let's say unperforming teams. You can't keep a coach like that. A coach that you can't see any pattern that like he's playing. You can't see his hand on the information. It's unfortunate that you never understand, or you can't, imagine how you keep such a coach in our team. So, it's good. It's good that he has been sacked. I'm very happy he has been sacked because he can help us, especially at the World Cup.
I think this is certainly a good news for Mother Ghana, because this is long overdue, and it's been yearning for this for quite too long. Otto Addo is just a trainer scout, so he has no business leading the Black Stars to this mantle ahead of us. And I think the sports minister needs to be commended for a great work job done. If it were to left with the FA, I think by now Otto Addo will still be in post. Even from a layman's perspective, we all know Otto Addo is not a good coach, and he is not a coach. Because when you see his body language on the touchline, certainly you will know he's not the man for the job.
What I would say is that it is and was very necessary for the sacking of Coach Otto Addo. My reason stems from the fact that he's not the man for the job, and then could not deliver us to where we want to be.
To be very honest with you, this is like one of the best news I've heard waking up this morning. It's great news because it was obvious Otto was not on top of his job. He didn't really stamp his authority on the team, and it's like he didn't have basic style that the Black Stars should be playing. Yeah, it's good riddance for me. I feel now the GFA should take their time and then pick someone who really understands the basics of Ghana football.
With regards to Otto being sacked, I think it's a good decision, though it came a little bit late. Looking at the crop of players we have, we might not have the best of players, but I think we are lacking good coaching. This team should get a better coach who understands his team. We might not get the results we want, but we will see a massive improvement on the performance of the players. As to who takes over the team, I have two options, either Kwesi Appiah or Hervé Renard.
Actually, from my side, I think it's the right thing to do. He's been given, in fact, the benefit of the doubt, and he's not able to do what you want. Actually, yesterday's game, I know Ghanaians, I wasn't impressed at all, because football is football, and I know how football works. We need a new coach, actually. Someone, even if the person is not playing better, you know the person's formations, you know what the person is calculating, you can tell something from the movement on the pitch, rather than just mingling, putting anyone. No, we don't need it. So actually, the sack, I think it came at the right time.
This FA have just wasted our time and our resources. After the Cup of Nations, if they had listened to the good people of Ghana and sacked Otto Addo, we wouldn't have gotten here. Now that everybody has given up because of the timing, and this is the time they have decided to sack him, we are waiting for who they will bring on board. We just love our team and we'll keep supporting the team.
For me, I'm very happy. Let's be serious in this country. Even playing players on their right position, he's not getting that right. He doesn't know if he's an attacking coach or a defensive coach. He doesn't even know. Let's try and be serious in this. For me, I'm very, very happy. Nothing is changing my mind.
I think the timing for sacking Otto Addo bad. He should have been sacked long time ago. He should have been sacked right after the AFCON. But the FA just threw whatever we as Ghanaians said under the bus. They were always saying Otto was the right man for the job. And now that he's lost 2 friendly matches, all of a sudden, Otto Addo is a bad coach. So right now, who are they bringing in? For me, I think if they go for Kwesi Appiah, Kwesi Appiah shouldn't come.
Once again, Raymond has hit the nail on the head and has been campaigning vigorously against Otto's appointment. And I believe that the minister has left it late. We could have done this some 2 months back and save ourselves the trouble. But I believe that better late than never, we can explore better options for the hopes and confidence to be restored.
I think every Ghanaian should be happy that Otto Addo is gone, because anybody who wants the progress or the happiness of Ghana should be happy that Otto Addo is gone. Otto Addo was virtually not doing anything for Ghana. I always say that the players are the ones who somehow themselves qualified this team to the World Cup, because Otto Addo didn't add anything. That's the fact. But let's face it, Otto Addo has never been a better coach, has never been good at coaching. He's not even a coach.
It's Eric from Milton Keynes, London. I think the coach decision was right to get rid of him because of what has gone on for the past few months. He has not been able to establish a proper pattern on how we want to play and how we're going to play going forward. There's no cohesion and all that. But the fact that he's gone just before the World Cup, we need to realize that we have to get a good replacement, because we got only about 70 or something days to go. So if we don't get a good manager, he will only have two games left to play as a friendly to get the squad in shape. Even before that, he will have to name his 26 before even playing those friendlies. Problem we have here is Kwesi Appiah hasn't got anything to offer. He hasn't got anything at all to offer, so don't even bring him on board. Let's look outside. Yes, the Moroccan coach is solid, but I'm not really sure, because when you watch them at the last World Cup, they had quick defenders who could recover, but their middle was wide open. So I don't know if he's a good choice, but hey, he's done the job, so maybe give him a chance.
Yeah, so those were the voice notes that came through. Hey. All right, let's take some calls. 9:54. Maybe we should take calls for like 10 minutes. Yeah, maybe 10 minutes. Let's take some calls. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. 030-279-4805. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let me take some calls. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, my name is Raymond, calling from Kwakina.
All right, please go ahead.
So you see, yesterday I was asking what tactics Otto Addo was going to use on the game with what you call Germany.
Yeah.
Looking at watching the game, if on a very good day we had a good coach and the quality and what all that football needs for a team to be a good team, I think we should have just scored Germany. But again, mistakes upon mistakes. Otto Addo, game, he has shot himself in the foot. And this thing about Kwesi Appiah, we don't, you see, it's okay. Kwesi Appiah has come once, twice, it's okay. Nobody's against Kwesi Appiah. But Charlie, we should be serious. We should be serious. We should get a good coach. Charlie, we should invest. Unless then we should stop playing football at all. Because, Charlie, every time we are trying Momakwe, let's go for the best once and for all. Me, it's okay. Whatever has happened, we say glory be unto God. And we should look forward for the better. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. 054-257-1061, 030-279-4805. Let me go to the other line and take this caller. Hello.
Hello, Nathan.
Michael.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, Radina, but then today I did disagree with Raymond.
Okay.
Sporty FM.
The plan way the FA gets for Otto Addo, not illegal work. Because if we are planning for the long term, at least I will see who results. But the results will come. When we are comparing Otto Addo to Aliou Cisse, it's neither here nor there. Because when Aliou Cisse took the job and they had a long term plan, he was gradually changing our results.
Yeah.
You understand? But then with Otto, we didn't see improvement. We didn't see progression. We're just here to buy it here. And now, if the criteria now with the pay there, the person who for coach, one can somewhere in so. It is how long term now can some cast and more person. Any feasible in the first place. It was on we want a coach for continuity as not for any criteria number two. Not only one bed, let's say, then, and who here. And now, after post Otto Addo sacking, I have a coach. Say a person, you coach, and as any strategic mover, he say, be the exciting period. Say, quite mistake, not the coach, there may be a behind. If you know that to me, no, Yampa interim, Yanko walk up, number 22. But as you know, coach, a baby 2-3 years. Which may be an AFCON trophy. Then coach will be understanding. Local coach like Simo or Desmond Semo or Gordon Samo or Yempe coach will be understanding because yes, for your pay on coach for the long term. Yeah, they will work up in some more. Which work up means winning. It's about a mistake. And I'm not a good can. What do we want as a nation?
Yeah.
So I say, it's any praying to me, dear. Young interim coach, obey never use man, obey never steady shape. Post what happened, nay back, about the fa, good coach, you be man a job or better. You train coaches under you, you have to coaches your man. Now, if you don't know about the Aliou Cisse, man, and all for Senegal. Now, see, be at least within 2-3 years, we have come back. We are good to go now, there. We keep going, because you can't see a prayer who did the master. I say maybe sooner. And nothing, Papa. And you remember the coach, what are the end there? Not a was a dinner with Gusakam. But I said, but not to say, I almost not signing muscle. I want to sign a muscle, much as I am. Yes, Nathan. Mama call us down Brown.
Michael, let me take this other caller. Hello. Hello.
One day best one day. Hey, one day best one day. Later, you know what I'm saying?
Emmanuel.
The way you start the show, the segment you start the show. Hi. So where going?
Oh, I mean, I mean, my excitement there.
There's more in your voice, man.
No, you see, I felt it
on my bed.
No, the whole thing was funny because I mean, you go and sleep and then you wake up in the morning.
To be frank,
this is the news.
I was listening to BBC. That's why I found the news around 4. Stated that way.
Yeah.
I thought this was a prank. See, if the fool come early like that. Hey, Nathan. I was among the guys who were when they should sack Otto Addo. But now, Charlie Nathan, was the timing right?
Was the timing right? I don't know. I don't.
Listen, see, we are putting the next coach in the serious problem, like a tight situation. We will demand more from this new coach.
Okay.
Do you understand me, Nathan?
I get you.
We sacked this coach way back. Sack this coach. You say no. 72 days to the World Cup. They were sacking a coach. Tell me, I want the coach to make the sack the coach. But now, you see, let me tell you something. Now, all Ghanaians, like we are now alive with. We are not alive with Otto. Then we wake up one day, and you say it's Otto. You know, like how you know, they shock you.
Well,
like
yes and no. I mean, I've seen this happen a lot of times, so I'm not too surprised. But why are you surprised?
You see, because you see the thing left to the FA. I think this decision was made from the government from the government side.
Okay.
Because you can't tell me that this FA would sack Otto Addo.
Okay.
And went ahead to employ these technical people to come and build a technical team. Then later they say they sacked him. You know, it makes sense. So I think this sacking is more of a government sacking. And why didn't they do this sacking way back when they knew they have all these powers to do this? Why do they have to wait to 72 days before they do this? Before they do this sacking? Well, you know, you could do Mr. Adams. We are going around saying he was not competent. Then you fire him.
But did you listen to Raymond's explanation as to what happened?
Oh, I didn't get that.
So he was saying that yes, the minister was not convinced. He wanted to do something, but the FA's argument was that, okay, granted, Otto is not good. What we can do is that we'll change the technical team to help him. You understand? So they changed the technical team. Hold on. So all this while, the government was waiting. What the government did was that it gave the FA time. Since you say you want to help the coach, like let us see what you can do. After some time, they realized that it just wasn't working. So they decided to make their decision.
Peter, you are in a class. Where you shall. You say maybe sack all your classmates because if your classmate will make you wish. You could bring a new classmate. It makes sense. It makes sense. See, yesterday I told Nia something. I said, we will feel possible to tell our workout slot. Give somebody.
No, you can't do that.
We say the workout slot because you are not ready. You are not ready. We are not ready. So wait to now. Who are we going for? Now who are we going for?
Nobody knows. We'll have to wait and see.
If I'm a coach, this Ghana job would be a job that I would never come close by this time.
Okay.
At this time, Nathan, I will never come close to a Ghana job at this time. If my father is a coach, I will never allow him to go to the work up with this thing at this time.
Okay.
Because it's very, very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. Ghana will be demanding a match from this bastard team when you take over. But you just have a few time to work with this team. So I think we shouldn't go for a new face. We should go and look for someone who has worked with the team before.
Okay.
I don't think we should go for a new face. We should go and look for someone who has worked with the team before, who knows the team.
Okay.
That will be better. Okay. But go and bring a new coach. Charlie, unless we say our work out slow too. So I'll give this in Nigeria, make them go.
Okay. All right, Emmanuel. Thank you so much.
Charlie, have a good morning.
All right, take care then. Let's take two more calls. 054-257-1061. 054-257-1061. This is the Sporty Breakfast. Let's take two more calls and then we'll call it a morning. Hello.
Good morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please, I want to contribute to the show.
Yes, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Oh, hey, I'm me, Matthew from the winner.
Okay, please go ahead.
All right, so I was expecting that my boss will tackle on maybe the GFA communication, the appeal. Yes, let us address those issues that the recommendation you made when some time ago you interviewed him concerning their decision to appoint Otto Addo.
Yes.
And then when you look at the kind of grammatical and then the jargon you use, Otto Addo knows our terrain, he knows. I don't remember that interview that you had with him. And if today we just look up and then they say they are fired, okay, the decision you were trying to help him to develop. But are we saying that we don't have capable coaches who apply, who will help Ghana to move forward? And then they say they are the coach. So now what the PRO said some time ago, what is the essence of that? They said they are just throwing down into our heights. So it means that there was some foul play among the GF executives in appointing Otto Addo is not capable of doing the job, but they have gone ahead to give the job to Otto Addo because they have their own share of the cake. But going forward, I think that maybe one of my recommendations is that I wish that sometimes people fish out some of the other countries. What are some of the credentials they look out for? What are some of the things they table in appointing their coaches so that we also learn?
The standard practice, that is what the GFA, the criteria they set. Very simple criteria. So if countries who want to appoint coaches, the standards are always the same. The coach should have the highest coaching license possible. He should be able to identify players. He must have a tactical identity. Those the standards cut across.
Yes, but when you look at the person they appoint, that they should their criteria. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, but the point is that they brought out their criteria. They made an appointment. We asked all the questions. They kept telling us that, oh, the man was capable. If after 2 years they realize that he's not capable, that is their cup of tea. Or what do you want us to do?
Oh, no, your credential and what you have done. I was thinking that probably when they also come out with their own expertise and then their final analysis, from your angle and your team, you also bring up the findings about the coach that have been appointed. So that Ghanaians will now be comparing the two of them. They will just support the two of them together. Okay, this is what JF is saying. After 2 years, we will know that yes, these are the things that we said, and truly we have seen them. Because now it is like, oh, okay, they will bring another one. They will say, oh, it fits our credentials. But when you look at the things that you said, okay, I don't even fit any of them, but they try to think something for us.
Yes, true. And then, very good. And then you see, if you say we should ask for the questions we've asked, we always ask. We always, unless of course you don't follow the work we do.
Oh, I follow.
Or you want us to put a gun to the head of the GFA people and demand for answers?
Yes, probably something like that. Something like that. Or maybe for instance, let's say that after they have said everything, then we'll ask them, okay, so if Otto Addo doesn't prove the kind of defense you are giving to Otto Addo, what should we take from you?
What should we take from who?
From the GFA.
Hold on. And you see, and you think we haven't asked those questions?
Well, maybe
you think you think we haven't asked? Chairman, the point is that we will ask. You see, that's all I can do. I can ask. I will push as far as I can, or as hard as I can, or we will do as much as we can do. If the FA is not giving you an answer, what can you do? Can you force them to give you an answer? They won't give you an answer. For example, when Otto Addo was appointed, we kept asking, what is his contract? They said, no, they can't tell us. It's for legal reasons. Can you force them to tell you what is in his contract? You can't. So you can only push to a point. And then you do your work as well as you can as a journalist, and you wait and see what happens.
Sure. Because recently I'm following Vicky. Is tracking record of the Brazilian coaches appointment. you know, Vicky, that BBC journalists in South America.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they are having this kind of comparison in all the coaches that Brazil has appointed and the kind of players that they are appointing, and then he's trying to make some important.
But that's work we do every day. If you listen to a lot of the shows, we do all of that. We compare collabs, bring data. My colleagues Asari Boedu in this media house, a lot of the media houses, we do the same things. We do the same things.
We read them on the best. They should read somebody that will.
The problem is not us, the media. The problem is that the people who are running football are stubborn. That is the problem.
Sure. And then some of the media are also playing by us. As we are doing a good job, others are also there fueling things that are not well.
Well, again, in this life, everybody has what they believe in. So I also can't stop somebody if they say that as for them, that is what they want to do. I always tell people that this work, if you are doing it, just do it well. And leave the judgment to some other person to do. All right. Thank you very much. All right. All right. 11 minutes after 10. Let's call it a morning. Oh, just when I was calling it a morning, there's a caller. Fidelis, please, after this one, don't allow any more callers. Yeah, I need to do it. Let me take this caller. Hello.
Hello. Good morning, Lisa.
Yes. Good morning.
Okay, I just want to make some.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
Regarding Otto Addo getting started from the national team.
Yes, what is your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Harry. I'm calling from Achimota.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah. So all I just want to say is this is not the time for us to go for all these Francophone coaches who have come. They will go back to pick their. Someone like Kwesi. I don't see any reason why he should be called back to the Black Stars because we've given him also enough chances and he couldn't prove anything at the World Cup, even in the Nations Cup as well. And I think this is the time that we really need to get. I don't also believe that our time is short. When you have an experienced coach who knows everything about football, no matter the time that you bring in this coach, I believe that he'll be able to prove himself. Because you already have the players that when you get a good coach, and these players are also experienced players playing out there in international competition. So I think bringing in an experienced coach who only know how to put these players on board to be able to deliver. So I don't think it's a time factor. When you even look at club sides, sometimes even during the Champions League, Chelsea had one of their co-stars. They brought in their assistant. He was able to, leave the trophy for them. So I don't think that would be an issue. So it is time that we need to really sit down, structure our national team very well, get the right coach who has the right experience to manage these players. And I believe we'll go far. I don't believe in that the time is short and all those stuff. I believe that once you're an experienced coach, you should be able to deliver no matter the timeline.
All right. Thank you. All right, let me go through some announcements. And then we'll see if we can take a final set of messages. All right, now this Easter, the Ghana Water Volleyball Association is organizing or hosting the second edition of the Easter Novitogbeza Water Sports event in Keji, in the Keta municipality. This is the schedule. April 3, there's the water volleyball and handball. And then on April 5, which is Easter Sunday, there's the regatta relay. The National Recreation and Wellness Program has confirmed participation with a delegation led by the Honorable Betty Crosby Mensah expected in Keji for this year's festival. So be there in Keji. Now, if you don't have your Polytank Sumo Super, today's the 31st of March. Today's the final day of Heritage Month. Go and buy your Sumo Super and get yourself that discount. Save over 1,000 cedis and enjoy your Polytank Sumo Saver. Sumo Super, built with advanced multi-layer technology reinforced for superior durability. Sumo Super is designed to last, giving you peace of mind for your home, business, or project. Polytank, the original. Polytank, always the best. Polytank, Papa Nankasa. Beware of fraudsters. Polytank does not request for Momo online. Now, if you're looking for great food in a great spot, Delish Restaurant is now open at the University of Ghana poolside, right behind the UG Stadium. They are serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner, so you can go there right now and grab something to eat as you chew on Ghana's decision to sack Otto Addo. Enjoy delicious meals like jollof rice or fried rice, or they've got juicy grilled or fried chicken, assorted noodles, yam chips. They've got mpesi, all of that. Now, Delish has a great space where you can do your hangouts, business meetings, or you can chill with friends. They have karaoke every Wednesday, live band or game night every Friday. Visit Delish Restaurant at the University of Ghana poolside behind the University of Ghana Stadium. Open Monday to Saturday, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. and Sundays, 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. If you want delivery, call 054 080 0000 or 056 004 4444. Follow our Delish Ghana on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. Delish Restaurant, great breakfast. Wow, it's been a hectic morning. I had